Well, guys, I've done it again. I drug home another BMW. This one's in pretty rough shape. I believe it's a 82 or 83 R100. I'll have to look at the VIN number to confirm for sure. So a buddy of mine reached out. He had a friend whose uncle had recently passed away, and they found this old bike sitting in a shed that had collapsed on his property. So he reached out to his buddy to see if he would be interested in it, and he was like, "Nah, man, I don't want to mess with that." He's like, "But I know somebody who probably would," and that's me. So he had no idea when the last time it ran. It's got a plate on it here. Says 97, so we could guess that it's probably been off the road for at least 25 plus years. It's got the Crosser bags, got this trunk somebody added onto it. Seats in decent shape. It's got a rip up there at the front. Everything is just like rusted from it sitting outside. Well, sitting underneath a collapsed barn that had no roof, basically. Looks like it's got some upgraded shocks. Never heard of these. I'll have to look them up. Actually look like a pretty decent shock. I'm not sure what's going on with the tank. It looks like they tried to preserve it. The gas cap was off, and they had duct tape over the top of it. It didn't sound like there's any gas in it. Not really sure. They emptied it and then tried to preserve it by doing that. I don't really know. Looks like they had taped this off and sprayed some primer down here. These tanks are known to rust down on this bottom edge. So that may have been what was happening. So they were trying to fight that rust away. I'll have to pull all this off and then see if this tank will even be salvageable. It might be total junk. If the odometer's right, looks like got about 65,000 miles on it. Does have the key. It's got voltmeter, clock. All the parts seem to be here. None of the original parts are missing. Everything that's like the gas cap and the petcocks and stuff that were taken off were in the saddlebags, so got all that. Also came with a exhaust wrench in the bag, which is nice. I don't have one like that. Let's see, it's also got a aftermarket 2-in-1 exhaust. See what we can do with that. It's pretty rusted, so they might be junk too. You can tell everything is just corroded, rusted. I'm surprised it actually rolls. But it does have the dual front Brembo brakes, which is nice. It's got that glass for the front fairing was included. Looks like we got an old Department of Defense sticker on here. Let's see. Oh yeah, MacDill. So I think this has been a Tampa bike for probably most of its life. It does have a kickstart on it, which is not something you see too often on these later model Airheads. That's a pretty cool feature. I did push that down and the engine rotates over, so it's not locked up, which is good. I've got a battery charging up. I'm gonna probably go ahead and pop this battery out, put that one in, see if I can get any lights to turn on. And if I can, I'll probably throw some oil down in the cylinders Actually, I'll probably drain any oil that's in it and then put some oil down in the cylinders and then maybe see if I can bump it to start it. Yeah, so the guy said the title is still in probate. We don't have the title for it yet. I got it for a really cheap price, so I'm really not too worried about it. If we don't get the title back, I'll probably just end up salvaging some of the parts off of this bike and then scrap the rest. If we can get the title, that'd be cool, because then titled frame is worth some money if we can't do anything else with it. But I mean, I'm always curious. These bikes can take a lot of abuse, so I'm gonna try to start it. We'll go ahead and do a will it run video. Like I said, put a new battery in it, drain the fluids, replace all that, and then probably have to pop the bowls off those carbs, clean them up just so some fuel can get through. And then I'll use my auxiliary fuel tank to see if we can get it to start. So she's pretty rough, but we'll see what we can do with her. These bags the latches are rot, like just corroded. So, I mean, bags are junk. This big old thing, like made out of fiberglass. I don't know. Somebody might want that. It's kind of just a generic. I don't think that's like anything BMW made. That is a BMW seat though. Looks like it does have the old pulse air system still hooked up. A lot of time guys would scrap those even back in the day because they're just unnecessary, really, just emissions junk. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and dig into this one and see what we can figure out with it and go from there. All right, I'm just gonna do a recap real quick of everything I've done so far. So I went ahead and drained the oil in the gearbox and the engine. I replaced it with some fresh oil. Took out the spark plugs and put some oil down in the cylinders, and I went ahead and threw in, they're not new spark plugs, but they're a lot better than what was in there. I had them in the shed, so I went ahead and tossed those in. Popped open the air box and just checked the filter, make sure there was no rat's nest or anything like that in there. That looked fine. And then I had this battery, I've got it charging, should have enough juice to at least power the bike on. So, and I went ahead and took the tank off too. I've got it sitting over with some evaporust in it, so that we can start cleaning that up as well. All right, so I guess it's time we can turn this key and see if we get any power to this thing. Yeah, we got power. Seen the voltage meter jump there. So I think that's the oil pressure light is on. So the headlight is working. See if the tail light's working. No, it's not. Tail light's working. And the brake light's working. Let's see, turn signals. No turn signals. Might be a bad switch or fuse, relay. Everything we're telling could be a couple different things. Shoot, that's cool that all the other stuff is powering on. All right, I guess I'm gonna bump the starter and see. Oh, we got another light on now too. I think that's the gen light. Nothing. Make sure it's in neutral. Let's see, no neutral light. Huh. Yeah, let me set this down and see if I can get it in neutral real quick. Alright, super faint, but I did get it in neutral and the light didn't come on. Alright, so now I'm going to try to start it again. Yep, so it's trying to turn over. This battery might not have enough juice to fully turn it over, but that's good to know. That sounds like the starter's working fine. Cool.